Hello guys, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to the cheapest grocery store in Ukraine in 2026 while we have electricity. So I hope when I will come back to home I won't stuck in my lifts because it's extreme, it's a risk now. I will show you prices and how it looks like. Actually it's a new store near our residential building, so I think it's really interesting. And now 8 a.m.
Now I will show you how my morning started. I woke up and realized we had power at home, which means I could run to the store and take out the trash and even use the elevator up and down because I'm tired of taking the stairs. It's minus 10 Celsius degrees outside right now, so I dress very warmly. My warmest sweater, I tuck my hair away because it really suffers in this weather, and I put on my warmest outerwear. I bundle up, grab my tote and of course gloves, all packed, and Bonik usually follows me around while I'm getting ready. If you have pets, tell me in the comments, do they also follow you like a little tail all over the apartment? Meanwhile, Bonik has already climbed into the closet and I can get him out. He clearly needs something in there. I leave him inside, crack the door open a bit and quickly grab my bags, hoping for the best. We never know when the power will go out again, so we have to move very fast so we don't get stuck in the elevator. You could end up sitting there for hours. It's extremely slippery outside. Our streets are sprinkled with salt and sand, so you can walk, but today it's minus 10 and tomorrow night it'll drop to minus 30 Celsius degrees. That's an absolute record for the last 5 years in Ukraine. It's very cold now, so being without heating and electricity is simply awful. Here I slept, but didn't fall, thankfully. I tossed the trash and were rushing to the store. This is a new supermarket that just opened inside a new business center. It's only 8 a.m. We don't get to choose when we have power, so I ran straight here. I'm taking a cart and a small basket. The basket is my limit. I can carry more home because I walk here about a kilometer without a car. I set things up like this, so it's convenient. I'll show you everything. There are very few people. First, not everyone in the neighborhood knows the supermarket has opened. Second, it's only 8 in the morning. So I'll keep showing you prices. All prices are in hryvnias. For exchange rate context, one American dollar is 40 to 43 hryvnias. So you can roughly divide all the prices you see by 42. At the end, I'll show you my grocery basket, what I bought, and the exact total. I'm grabbing some sweets, and in general, we're trying to buy foods in Ukraine that don't spoil, because when the power is out for a long time, the fridge doesn't work, of course. It's so cold outside that some things can be stored on the balcony, but still you can't cook everything in time and food goes bad. So I try to take not perishables. We always have fruits, vegetables at home. I'll also buy whatever we're missing because we already have grains, long storage items like tea, coffee, and we also have eggs. I'll show you the prices so you don't wonder later why I'm not buying certain items. It's simply because we already have them. I'll show more later. By the way, prices for fruit and vegetables are listed per kilogram. In this store, they wait at the checkout either by the cashier or by you at self-checkout. In some supermarkets in Ukraine, you have to weigh them yourself at special scales. Next, I'm grabbing a sauce. You'll see how I'm building my basket as we go. Reminder, if you see a price around 20 hryvnias, that's roughly 50 cents. Around 240 to 43 is about 1 American dollar. For treats and snacks, prices are about what you see here. I also show you the can section, pickles, mushrooms, various preserves, and so on. Discounted items are marked with separate orange or green stickers. Not sure what the difference is. Honestly, it might be cool to show you the entire supermarket because there's almost nobody here. Right now there's just one cashier and one security guard working, so I'll film more. The place is really huge. Here's my basket. Let's keep going. As for groceries, overall, these are usually products you would find in any country, I think. ATB generally has the lowest prices you can get in Ukraine. There's a lot of beer here, including a very popular one I'll show later. You won't really find it anywhere else except ATB. Actually, I'll show you the alcohol section too. I don't drink at all, but some of you might be interesting. Now we are entering my favorite ale, the sweets section. I'm showing you prices up close. Here everything is priced per unit. They also have their own bakery. The prepared food selection isn't huge, but it exists. We'll take a closer look in a moment. Coffee as well. I'm taking this instant coffee for times when the power is out and you can't make a normal coffee on a small gas stove. You can heat water and at least have this. I showed that stove in the previous video on my channel, what it's and how to use it. In general, a lot of you ask how much that camping gas stove and the canister cost, gas canister. The stove itself isn't too expensive, depends on the model, but generally around from $15 to $25. Plus, the small gas canister sold separately. A pack of 4 canister gas balloons, mini gas balloons, cost about $3. Of course, it depends on how often you cook and how long your power is out, but in general, it's average prices. Schedule still around working here, but today and yesterday have been a bit better than in the video where we had 53 hours without electricity and heating. Next week through a very strong frost and expected in Ukraine, so we are breaking for renewed strikes and stocking up on long shelf life foods like this. Although, to be honest, sweets don't last long at our place. I'm also grabbing my favorite M&Ms and we'll probably head to the bakery next. Candy like this, the kind you can scoop as much as you want, has the price shown per 100 grams, not per kilogram. Now let's head to the bakery section. I'll grab a few things there too. Bread-based snacks really save the day when the power is out. You're hungry, but you don't want to heat anything. Just make something quick. Also, I have a favor. Please leave any questions you have in the comments under the video. I also made a post where you can add them. In one of the next videos, I'll definitely answer everything. Ask me anything, seriously. I'll answer as someone who has lived in Kiev, Ukraine all my life and stayed here from the beginning of the full-scale invasion. We've gone through everything you can imagine. A shahed hit near our building, we've buried loved ones, and we've lived through blackouts back then and now. Many of our friends and relatives are still here, so ask whatever you curious about, and you can leave questions not related to the war or blackouts too. Meanwhile, here's a beer section. This brand is the most popular in Ukraine, and people who struggle with alcohol addiction often buy it because it's the cheapest. But back to your questions, you can ask anything about life in Ukraine. For the record, before the full scale invasion, Ukraine was a very developed country. There's a stereotype that Ukraine is third world, but we lived full normal lives and traveled abroad. Now most men who remain in Ukraine can't cross the border at all. There are a lot of restrictions for men. If we talk about me, I still travel a few times a year because people here really need a break, at least a week to reset, distract, and finally sleep well. It's slower now. Planes don't fly, so it's only by train through a neighboring Europe countries. We usually go to Hungary or Poland because there are direct, fairly comfortable trains. Before you could reach almost any European country by plane in a few hours. Now it takes about a day just to get to the nearest border country. It depends on where you go, but that's the average. I'll keep showing prices for sweets and buckwheat. Remember, I'm not shopping just for myself. I'm also getting things for my husband and stocking up so we have treats at home. I know many of you have questions you might feel shy to ask, and there are probably topics I don't even realize you're curious about, so write your comments, please. Thank you to each of you for the support. It's incredibly important now for us. As I mentioned in previous videos, I lost my job and my husband is also currently without work. We support all our whole family, including extended relatives, so it's tough. On top of that, we have a blackout. Sometimes it's really hard to stay positive. After 4 years, everyone has a lot on their minds. People are stressed, and you can feel it. Some good news: my friend gave birth yesterday here in Kiev. I'm so grateful there were no strikes that day and everything went smoothly, but living in Ukraine with a newborn is still really difficult. She isn't leaving because her husband must stay in Ukraine. Many women my age who have husbands here don't see the point of moving abroad without them. Family is family no matter what. So that's how it is. With small children, to be honest, it's very hard to live now in Ukraine. We drifted off topic a bit back to shopping. I was planning to cook today, by the way. So now I'll show you the prices starting with meat. Here the meat is pre-packed. This store doesn't have a counter where you weigh cuts yourself, so the price is listed per package. It's fresh, refrigerated, not frozen. Next, the dairy section. If we still have power tonight or tomorrow, which is our day off, I'm planning to cook carbonara and make cream cheese. I really want some hot food, and honestly, we've got terrible news again. Forecast says there may be heavy strikes, no matter what agreements you might read in the news. In reality, none of them have held over this for years. Every time there was supposed to be a reduction or ceasefire, nothing changed, the shelling continued. So most of us who live in Ukraine doesn't expect things to improve in the near terms, especially with this cold. 2 videos ago, I showed you that our apartment temperature dropped to 10 Celsius degrees. That's brutal. A few days later, the heating pipes in our building burst. They were repaired, thanks God, but there are older buildings in Kyiv where radiators couldn't handle the pressure, systems were destroyed, and there won't be heating for the rest of the season. It's never been this cold across Ukraine in my lifetime, and we are told it will stay like this for at least another month. Many people are moving in with relatives or changing rentals. By the way, tell me in the comments if you'd like an updated apartment tour with current trend prices and details. And sorry for drifting off topic and for my English, I practice regularly, but I'm not a native speaker. I live in Ukraine and speak Ukrainian day to day. Back to the store. It isn't only groceries, there's household goods and toys too. By the way, eggs. A pack of 10 eggs is about from in average it's $2 now. We've had some products that jump drastically. For example, eggs were 4 times cheaper before the full-scale innovation, roughly a 25% increase every year. Prices have gotten crazy. Same with fuel. Gasoline is about 3 times more expensive than 3 years ago. War, unfortunately, is profitable for some and prices don't go down. Supermarkets are still affordable for most, but it's hard. And of course, our salary not increase so quickly, and in general, it's not increase at all for last several years. By the way, if you'd like to support my channel or can spare a small donation, I'd be really grateful. I'll leave the links in the video description only if you have the possibility and desire, of course. Thank you so much and let's keep going. People are starting to come into the store now. Here's the household aisle. Aisle show means razors, deodorants, since you don't usually see priced out, not just food. For quick conversation, divide priced by 43 to get American dollars. The dollar will likely rise further by the end of the year, which makes salary strange even less. Back to our cart, I still need meat for carbonara, so I'm grabbing bacon and another cut. Here some labels are per 100 grams. For pre-packaged trays, the price is per package. I've clearly picked up a lot. I'm not sure how I'll carry it all home, but I'll manage. Good thing I'll limit myself to a small basket, otherwise I'd have to make multiple trips. I'll take one more piece of meat and head to checkout. They have stuffed lanes, and in most Ukrainian supermarkets you can pay everywhere by card or online. Self-checkout is common too. It's still early morning, so the checkouts are almost empty and only one regular cashier is working. Since I've got a lot of items, I don't feel like scanning them myself, so I'm heading there. I finally hauled all this food to the elevator and I'm really hoping we don't get stuck together right now. Not easy. But I'm happy because I'm in lift and I don't get stuck. Now I'll finally show you what we bought. So let's start. Here are the sweets, marshmallows, treats, butter, more treats, teriyaki sauce and cream for carbonara and cream soup. Here's the coffee, instant coffee we make when the power is out. And yes, the power is still on, so this is the coffee we usually make. I also have plenty of regular coffee in stock. This is my little storage shelf, lots of grains as you can see, and plenty of food for Bonik, just in case, because deliveries only work when there's electricity. Sometimes they can only bring the order to the first floor and you have to carry it up yourself. I also bought potatoes, I'll show you those now, some spreads for sandwiches, lots of sweets, then tangerines. 1 second, it's sweets, M&Ms. So it's potatoes, carrots, and onions. Another spread, bread, and some buns, just baked goods. I got a lot of cheese here for cream soup, for pasta, and just for sandwiches too. There's also salty cheese and cheddar. Then we've got these instant cream soups just for emergencies. We don't usually eat this, but if things get really bad with the power, it's good to have at home. And I also bought this meat. All of these groceries cost me about 2000 hryvnias. That's roughly about 48 dollars, American dollars. Here's what this will cover us for roughly from 3 to 5 days. Of course, some things will be left over and some will need to top up. Look at this huge puzzle I finished, and normally we always keep the S running. Thanks for watching and see you next videos.